Hello everybody, I'm Yatan and welcome to this tutorial on data visualization using Python. Data visualization is a very essential part of any kind of data analysis. In this tutorial, we'll be learning various tools that helps us visualize data. We'll be learning when to use them and how to use them. For this, we'll be using Python. Okay, so let's begin. So I'll be using libraries like Matplotlib and Pandas for our data visualization. And also I'll be using Jupyter Notebook to write the code. I recommend you use Anaconda for this as it has already installed libraries and it also comes installed with Jupyter Notebook. If you don't have Anaconda, I'll just show you. Anaconda Python. Go to their site, install Anaconda and download the graphical installer. I recommend going for Python 3 instead of Python 2. So you'll have something called Anaconda and Navigator. Open it. Okay, so like you can see, you have your Jupyter Notebook here. You can launch it from here. What I generally do is I launch it from command prompt. Okay, so here you have your Jupyter Notebook. So let's go to desktop and create a new Python 3 notebook. Let's rename this as Matplotlib demo. If you come back to your desktop, you can see this file matplotlib demo.ipynb. ipynb is the extension for your notebook files. Okay, and this notebook gives you a notebook like interface for your programming. So all you have to do is, let's say you write print hello world. To run this, you can either enter shift enter or you can also run it from here. Any variable that you initialize here can be used throughout the cells. So example 2 plus temp. Okay, let's get started with your matplotlib. So matplotlib can be used to plot various kinds of plots like scatter plot, bar graph, line graphs. So let's see a demo of plotting a line graph using matplotlib. So first you have to import your pyplot module from matplotlib. From matplotlib import pyplot as plt. Okay, now your plot will have an x and y axis, right? So you have to give some data for x and y axis. So let's say we are plotting weights versus height, let's say. So x axis has weight and y axis has your height. So let's just give some random weights: 60, 65, 68, 73, 78, 82, 33. Okay, that's enough. Y according heights for this, let's say 130, 140, 145, 160, 170, 178. Okay, 6 each. Yeah, okay. So for plotting this, what you have to do is you do plt dot plot. Or also one more thing I want to tell you is, let's say you don't completely remember the name of the function. What you can do is you can press tab to see all the functions. Okay, plot, and you pass x and y, and then plt dot show. Okay, run this and you can see a graph, right? Okay, you can also add labels to this x and y label and also a label to the graph. So let's do that. Okay, plt dot X label weights in kg, plt dot label heights in cm. Okay, and plt dot title, say height versus weight. Okay, run this. You can see you have labels. Okay, you can also have multiple lines in the same plot. To do this, you have to just call plt.plot multiple times. So let me just show you an example. Plt.plot, say 1 2 3. Okay, and we write plt.plot again. Okay, as you can see, you have the two lines in the same plot. Now, to know which is which, you can also add a legend here. So to do that, plt.legend. Note that plt.legend takes a list as an argument, a list of strings. So let's say your blue line is data set 1 and your orange line here is data set 2. So you can see there's a legend here. You can also save this image. Either you can use save image as here, or you can also do plt.savefig, and here you write the name of the image that you wanted, and it'll be saved in the same directory as your Python notebook. Okay, so now let's look at the Pandas library. So Pandas is one of the most popular library in Python for data analysis. We can use Pandas to explore, clean, and process our data. So we'll be learning about series and data frames. We'll mostly be focusing on data frames. So let's get started. I'll create a new Python notebook. Okay, what you want to do is import pandas as pd. Okay, so first let's learn about series. Okay, so pandas series is basically one-dimensional array. So let's say pd dot series, and I pass a list. Okay, it's basically a one-dimensional array. The only difference is you can also have labeled indexes here. So let's say there's another parameter called index, so I can pass a list of index names. It can be anything, it can be strings as well. So let me just use ABCDE for this. Okay, like you can see, your index is no longer 0 1 2, it's ABCDE. So let me store this in a variable temp equal to, okay, now temp is this list series. Okay, now you can, let's say you want to call temp of A, you can either do this, or even your index 0 works. Okay, so now let's look at data frames. Data frames are two-dimensional data structures. So let's say you're working on spreadsheet data or data stored in relational databases. So basically data stored in rows and columns. Data frame is used for that. So let me show you how data frames work. Okay, okay, let's start. df equal to dot data frame, and let's pass a dictionary here. So let's say A has 22 33 44. Okay, he has. Okay, he has. Okay. Oh, sorry. Now if you look at df, you can see this is a data frame, rows and columns. Again, here you can do the same thing like 0, 1, 2, 3. You can have an index name. You can pass index. So say index equal to s. Okay. Now if you again run this, you can see PQRS. Now you can get any one of the columns from this data frame by passing like df a, let's say. So you get only a, and this is basically a series. If you see the type, series. Okay, let's say you want to add a new column here. You can do is, let's say I want the sum of ABC as a new column. So sum equal to f of a, b, c. Now if you look at df, you'll have a sum column as well. Apart from this, let's say you want a particular row, not a column. So for that, what you do is df dot location and pass in the index. You get this. This is also a series. Okay, so let's try to remove a row from here. So to do that, you have to do df dot drop and pass the index here. So let's say p, and see p is gone. You have to know one more thing here. Okay, so if you want to get the details of this function, what you can do is you can press shift tab. It will give you all the details about this function, how it works, what are the parameters. There's something called axis, which by default is 0. So when axis is 0, your row is dropped, and if you want to remove a column, you have to make your axis as 1. Okay, I'll just show you. Let's say I want to remove the sum column. Okay, so sum comma, if I just run this, it'll throw an error. See, because axis here is 0. If you want to remove the column, you have to make axis as 1. See, sum is gone. Now you might have noticed one thing. You still have p here, right? But you had removed p. So the thing is, if I press df again, you have sum again. So what is happening is, it is not really making this change in the df. It is just returning what the df will look like after dropping this. If you want to make the change in the same df, what you have to do is, there's another parameter called in place, which is by default false. So if you make this true, so what happens is, it does not return anything. It will basically make the change in the same df. So now if I remove the sum and I display df again, you should not see this column. Okay, now I'm gonna run this. See, sum is gone. Okay, so now let's see how to import data into a data frame. So generally, what we don't use dictionary to populate the data frame. What we do is we import data from databases or Excel files or JSON to work on data frames. So I have an employees.csv in the same directory as this notebook file. So let me just show you how to import the data into the data frame. Let's say df equal to pd dot read. Now if you press tab, you can see read CSV, read Excel, read HTML, read JSON, read SQL table. This is how you import. So I'm gonna go ahead and import CSV, and name of the file is ploys.csv. Okay, so now if I see this data frame, see, you have the data frame. I just you want to see only first few 5 entries, press df.head. Okay, so here what I have done is I have imported a CSV file called World Happiness Report into a data frame. So this is a data set which I took from Kaggle. So this consists of many countries, their happiness rank, score, the GDP per capita, life expectancy, and other attributes. So let's perform some operations on this data set. By the way, all these data sets that I'm using from this website, Kaggle. Yeah, so this website has numerous data sets, so you can sign in and download for free. So yeah, let's continue. Let me now plot a line graph between, let's say, the happiness rank and life expectancy, or let's say, okay, let's say happiness score and life expectancy. Okay, so I'll say plt dot plot, sorry, yes, okay, let's score. Let me also add the labels. X label as label as okay. So this is the graph that you get. You can see it's like a zigzag, but it is following this diagonal. What can we observe from this graph? You observe that countries having a higher happiness score also have a higher life expectancy. In the middle, there's no particular trend. We have countries whose happiness score is in the middle and their life expectancy is from low to high. But you can see countries which are more happier tend to have a higher life expectancy. So this is some way, in a way, you interpret a graph. Okay, now I'll show you another graph. Now let's say we want to plot a scatter graph. What you have to do is plt dot scatter, and let's take the same data. Okay, so here the same thing is in a scatter plot. You can also change the color of this by adding another parameter called color. Let's say green or red. Yeah. Apart from this, I'll also show you something here. There are things called markers and line style, which I'm not going to go deep into, but I will show you. So here, let's say I want to have a dashed lines and green in color, so I can put G dash dash. See, there are many such things, but I'm not going deep into this styling part. Okay, so this is a scatter plot. Now I'll also show you how to have multi-plots in the same canvas. So let's say we want to have this is one graph. So we want to have two plots here, one this side, one this side. So for that, what you do is let me define two lists: x equal to 2 3 4 5, y equal to 1, let's say squares, 4 9 16 25. Okay, so now to plot multiplots, what you do is plt dot subplot. Okay, first parameter is the number of rows. So let's say we'll take only one row and we'll have two subplots in it. So one row, two subplots with two columns. And which one are you plotting? First one. Okay, now let's plot x comma y, add some style to it, let's say g star dash. Similarly, let's add another. Now this is the second one, so this will become 2, and let's change this to y x r, red color. Okay, like you can see, you have multiplots within the same canvas. Okay, so this was multiplots. So let's move ahead. Let's try to plot histograms. Okay, for this I'll use random from random put sample. Okay, let's say a data variable equal to sample range. So let's take 100 data points. So what we're doing here is we're taking 100 data points which are random and between 1 and 1000. So let's check out data. Okay, we have. Now let's plot a histogram on this. For that, what you do is plt.hist and pass the data. Okay, here's your histogram, but if you see, there are no border lines here, so it doesn't look that good. So for that you can add something called edge color black. Yes, so now you can see this histogram. So what this histogram means is basically from 0 to 100 there are 11 entries. From 100 to 200 there are 9 entries in data. Yeah, again you can change colors. Let's say orange. Yes, okay. You can also have grid lines at the back. So for that, what you do is plt.grid. You can see those grid lines, but I think this looks better. Okay, so this was histogram. There are many other things in the histogram like hist type, but I'm not going to go into that. So as this is an introductory tutorial. Okay, let's now go ahead and plot a bar graph. So for bar graph, I'll be using the same data set which we earlier used. That is this happiness report. So let me just take the first 5 entries into another data frame, df 5. Okay, so let's say I will plot a bar graph with countries on the x-axis and let's say the trust or government corruption on the y-axis. So for that, all we have to do is plt dot bar your x-axis, that is df country, okay, and your y-axis df trust. Go ahead and plot this. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, so I have plotted this on df. I had to do it on df2. That's why it shows like this. There's so many entries. So df2, yeah, so you can see this is a bar graph. Okay, so now we've seen how to plot a line graph, multiplots, scatterplot, histograms, and a bar graph. Oh, there is something that I missed in histograms. You can also reduce, you can increase the number of bins, so you can make these lines more thinner. So I missed this. For this, what you have to do is bins equal to, let's say, 50. Okay, yeah, just wanted to show this to you. Yeah, okay, so we finished 4-5 plots. Let's now try to plot a pie chart. Okay, so for a pie chart, let's take labels as programming language names. So let's say Python, C Sharp, Java, take Angular. Okay, so after that, let's sizes equal to, just assign some sizes, 250, some 425, 342, 433. Okay, okay, now colors. So the pie chart will have these 4 slices: Python, C Sharp, Java, Angular, with these sizes. And we'll decide a color for everyone. So let's say yellow, orange, light blue, green. Okay, so now to plot a pie chart, you enter plt dot pie, pass the sizes, then labels as your labels, and colors equal to the colors list that we made, and run this. Okay, so you get a pie chart, but this is not really looking neat and does not look good. First of all, let's make the axis equal. plt dot axis equal. Okay, it's now more circular. Now I'll show you how to slice one of these pie charts or all of them outwards. So for that, there's something called explode. Explode is another list. Let's say we want Python sliced out, so 0.1. Let's take everything else as 0, and we pass this parameter called explode as the explode list. Okay, now you can see this pie is sliced out, so you can do this for all of them. Yeah, apart from this, what else? You can also have a legend here. So let's have a legend here. plt dot legend labels. Okay, and let's remove these labels now. Okay, so you can see it's a legend here. So this was pie chart. You can remove these colors to have the default color scheme. Yeah, I think this looks much better. Alright, that's it guys. So you can go ahead, explore Kaggle datasets, play around with these visualizations. This was just an introductory tutorial, so we did not go deep into these concepts. But if you want me to go deeper, tell me in the comments and I'll make a new video. If you have any question, tell me that in comments. If you liked the video, hit like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.